Today we started off with incline dumbbell presses, which the reason we do that is I feel like my weakness and most athletes' weakness is their upper chest. Unless you're, just genetically gifted and you have very developed upper chest, I feel like to hammer out the upper chest in the beginning of the workout will basically set the pace and get all the blood flow in that upper shelf area, which a lot of us are lacking. Being 1 week out of a show, when we get, depleted and we're not eating as much as we should, I really feel like the chest is the first thing to flatten out. So it's important when you're training chest a week out of a show to keep the reps low, keep the weight heavy. You should do a, 3-second tempo, 3 seconds up, 2 seconds down, and really concentrate on creating that mind-muscle connection and getting the proper blood flow into that upper chest. So after our incline dumbbell press, I like to switch up the pressing movement, and I like to incorporate some flies. What I usually do with chest and what I found is most effective is to superset presses with flies. This way we're not only filling out the muscle from back to front, but we do the fly movement to stretch out the muscle fibers from left to right, creating a wider, thicker pectoral. And this machine I'm using here I've never seen this in any other gym. I'm very privileged to be training at this gym because we have very interesting machines here, such as this fly machine. And as you can see, I'm just trying to go slow and control, like I talked about previously, get that full range of motion, full stretch, and really get all that blood in that muscle. After the flies, we move straight to the machine press, which is a flat bench press machine. And the reason I'm doing this is I'm 1 week out of a show, so my joints are a little bit dry. To prevent the risk of injuries, I do like to use a lot of machines. At this time, 1 week out, we're not going to put on any more muscle. We just got to, basically keep the muscle full and tight. So I feel like it's good to incorporate a lot more machine movements when you're prepping for a show. Like I said, the last thing you want is to get injured 1 week out of a show. So as many of you know, my last showing was the New York Pro, which I'm very fortunate to have placed second in such a tough show with so many great athletes. But to be quite honest, I'm a little disappointed in myself placing second. So I didn't take any time off. I went straight to the gym, straight back on my diet. This whole year is basically like a big, long practice run. The reason I say that is because I already have pro titles. The one title I don't have is the Mr. Olympia title, and that's my lifelong dream. So all year has been dedicated to making the improvements I need. If anybody's seen the New York Pro, you can see I had a totally different posing routine than I ever had. I practice every single day my posing, minimum of 10 minutes a day, and it really adds up. So I feel like that's a really big improvement I made this year, is one with my posing. Two is I filled out my frame a lot more, add a lot more thickness in my back, a lot more width. Sounds cliche, but I'm gonna bring my best package ever to Tampa, and I'm just fortunate and lucky enough to be one of the leading athletes in the sport, and every day I'm able to do this is a blessing. And I just want to see the division grow as much as possible, and give an outlet for men like me. We're not bodybuilders, but then again, we're athletes, and what we do is impressive. So I want to showcase us in a positive light. And coming into September, I'm going to have 2 shows aka a lot of practice, and I'm ready to do my best on the big stage. Next exercise is dumbbell pullovers. I only started incorporating this movement as of lately. What I feel is best about this is to give, again, the complete stretch of the pectoral, and it really helps create that upper shelf that I was talking about previously. What's important here to do is, on the peak of the movement, you kind of want to contract and flex your pec. So you kind of want to do the exercise and flex at the same time. Also, you got to really focus on your breathing. When you're inhaling on the way down, a lot of people, what they don't do is they don't breathe correctly. So what you're doing is you're limiting your basically V-taper capabilities. So when you're inhaling on the way down, you're stretching out your rib cage, you're filling yourself up with air, and you actually get a more V-tapered shape when you step on stage. You know, on the top of the movement, you exhale, and then again, inhale on the way down and exhale. It's really simple, but a lot of people forget to do it. And, you know, that's an amateur mistake. So you got to really focus on everything you're doing. If you have to lower the weight, you can see I'm only using 65 pounds. I could go as heavy as 100, but then again, the form gets sacrificed for the weight. And we're not trying to lift heavy here to impress anybody. We're trying to look our best on stage.